Now we're getting to part 3. And part 3 of the chapter is assessing your listening and speaking skills. Now, some of the following questions will help you review the information about music, which is the topic, right, the theme of this chapter. And many of the questions will help you review your listening and speaking skills too, your general listening and speaking skills. These types of questions may be on a test. So activity 31 has some questions on this page and the following page, all right? And this is applying skills from the chapter. Now, let me read the questions and make sure you understand them. If you have any questions about the meaning, raise your hand and I'll explain them. And then I'll give you time to practice with your partner. The first one, the lecturer presented 6 ways that music has the power to move people. What are the 6 ways? I think you know that very well. We had lots of practice on that last time, right? You understand that question pretty well, I bet, right? Okay, number 2, the question says, in which way does music move you personally the most? Explain your answer. Now, do you see the difference between question 1? This is a fact about what the lecturer said. And question 2, this is not a fact, this is your emotion, this is your subjective opinion. So it's asking you, how about you personally? In which way does music move you personally the most? And then you can explain to your partner. This one doesn't have a right or wrong answer. This gets you to reflect on your own feeling about music. Got it? Okay, so question number 3 says, what information can you find in a dictionary that can help you pronounce words more clearly? We've talked a lot about dictionaries. We've looked at 7 different dictionaries, and I told you some things that you can see in a dictionary that will help you pronounce. What are those things? All right, so that you can practice with your partner. This one you understand? Yes. Easy to remember. Okay, good. Number 4, how are the beats of music similar to the syllables in a word? How are the beats of music similar to the syllables in a word? Okay, talk about the relationship. Why sometimes we clap, we count, okay? How does that help you? Got it? Okay, number 5. In activities 28 and 29, you learned by doing something physically. How does this method, physically, you did the dance, right? We all did the dance today? That's what we did. Okay, so how does this method, in other words, how does doing something physically help students learn other subjects? So, for example, you can think about if you're learning tennis or if you're learning chemistry, you're learning nursing, you're learning English, you're learning art, you're learning something. Sometimes you have to read the book and write the answers, but other times you have to actually physically do something. So think of another subject where you have to physically do something in order to learn it and share that information with your partner. Got it? Okay, how about number 6? For what, okay, this is about intonation, so this is about your language skills. For what kind of sentence does the voice usually rise on the most important word at the end? This is something you don't read in a book. This is something you have to hear and pronounce with your intonation curve and give some examples. And the 7th one is related to it, but instead of rising intonation, it has falling. So it says, for what 2 kinds of sentences does the voice usually go up on this most important word and then fall, go down at the end? All right, so rise, falling intonation. When do we use that type of intonation? And give your partner a couple of examples. All right, the last one on this page says number 8. Without looking back at activity 26, try to recall from your memory and list 5 phrases to express likes and dislikes in each column below. So we have some question starters. And we have some statement starters for likes and statement starters for dislikes. Okay, now talk with your partner.